Welcome back to TMZ Live. So the Friends did it recently. Well, just the women.
Three of them, at least.
They cut out all the guys, but they had a big reunion. And there was another big reunion recently. The Little Rascals. Not the Little Rascals I remember from my childhood.
The one I remember
older.
because I'm much younger than you, and I watched the movie, of course.
Yes, the Little
which
Rascals
was a
movie.
huge deal, let me remind you.
20th anniversary was back in August. And several of the cast members got back together to do a very special sort of reunion and honoring of the movie. Basically, they
recreated some of the scenes and they took photos, and those all came out. And it's just kind of exactly there you go. The cover.
They that one. See, we're not recognize
how awesome is that?
Most of these guys, because listen, they're 20 years older now. So we have a couple of them with us right now. Bug Hall and Ross Bagley joining us right now on TMZ Live. How you doing, guys?
Good.
What's up?
Did we mention that Bug was Alfalfa and Ross was Buckwheat?
Well, I think we would
just
get that.
in case.
I think you would get, unless you don't know the characters, it's pretty clear that Ross would be Buckwheat.
Well, you are, wow. You didn't have to go there for it.
Well, I'm sorry, that's obvious, is it not, guys? So listen, so what was this like for you guys coming back together to do the reunion?
It was incredible. It was like a family reunion, right? The fact that it was all of our first big experience in life, it just was solidified, I think, in our minds. And I mean, people were picking up conversations that they had 20 years ago, and like it was yesterday.
Was this for both of you guys? Was the Little Rascals movie your first major role in Hollywood?
Definitely. It definitely was a launch pad for my childhood career and something that I'm very thankful for sure.
Yeah. For me, I'd put it even further than that and say that it was the first big experience I had of any kind, right? I mean, I was a kid going to school in Texas, so.
So do people, I know it's 20 years is a long gap, but do people actually still recognize you? Because I know sometimes you can look at a kid and when they get older, you might recognize them. So people still recognize you guys out?
At times.
Yeah, it happens. The weirdest one for me is when sometimes I'll have a beard because I hate shaving, and someone will go, Alfalfa. I go, how?
Exactly.
How?
Alfalfa doesn't. How would they possibly spot that? Because Alfalfa with a beard.
I still can't figure it out.
So listen, sometimes we've heard some actors and actresses in the past say that they don't necessarily want to do these kinds of reunions because it just takes them back and reminds people that that's what they did while you're trying to move on, especially from a childhood, a role that you had when you were much younger. Does it hinder your career or does it help it?
I mean, we're here, so I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it's nothing more than a help. This is something that I feel like we owe to the fans and something that was such a classic film, so I was grateful to be a part of it.
I think that perspective of whether it hinders or helps is really irrelevant, right? I mean, it was such a huge event in our lives. Nostalgia is one of the most powerful things in the world. To not accept that graciously and to be overwhelmed with joy every time someone goes, oh, you were a huge part of my childhood. I mean, it's such a big deal,
I think you'd be surprised because remember Kristen Stewart was very adamant about how Twilight, you can't define her by one role. Misha Barton was like, oh, I wish I would have never done the OC, but those were the roles that really put their name out there. So, I like that you guys have a different perspective than some of the people that are jaded about it.
I don't think we define ourselves by, I don't think anyone should define themselves by their careers anyway, right? So anytime someone brings up Rascals,
Yeah, you should tell me.
Anytime someone brings up Rascals, my heart skips a beat, right? I mean, it's such a big part of so many people's lives, and it was a huge part of my life, even 20 years later. So it's just joy, man. Joy, joy, and joy.
So what are you guys up to now? You're still doing the acting thing, and I would imagine this would help because it just gets your name out there, right?
Exactly, yeah. We're both still acting. I've got 3 films coming out this year. Shouts out to Status Media Entertainment. So yeah, you should definitely be on the lookout. I'll keep you posted. Follow my Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff for more information on that.
I do have to say, in the last 20 years, and I don't think any of the other Rascals will mind me saying this, Ross has accomplished more than any of us. He is a father of a 2-month-old.
I see you, Reese.
Hey,
That's
Reese.
awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, man, that blows my mind.
And one thing that's kind of cool about this, Charles, is that Brian, the producer of this film, he did the reunion of the Little Rascals, but he's gone through some other movies too. I remember he did a real famous one with Problem Child, and I mean, he got the cast literally back together. He goes, still, and again, they're recreating these iconic images. So Brian kind of has like a template going where he, brings all these old casts back together.
Right, and I think what people don't understand and what people need to realize is that he really cares about the image that he puts out. I mean, certain other media outlets will just put out something and not really care about what it looks like. He's really cares about the quality of the image, and that's something that we can definitely all be appreciative of.
Yeah, the first time he talked to me about it, I think he might have said 57 times, I want to put this in positive light.
Right.
And I was like, we're friends and we're going to do this. Let's go.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
listen, I got to ask Bug. I'm just wondering. I'm a little disappointed, I have to say.
Yeah,
that
why
you
are
have
you
the
wearing
hat
this
on.
hat, dude? Come on.
I wanted to see. You know what everybody always wants to see.
Come on.
Can you work it up? Can
Come
you
on,
work it up?
let's
Really?
do this.
It's a good effort.
I mean,
good
it was-
attempt. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, guys. Congratulations and best of luck to you, man.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right. We are going to take a break. When we come back, some pretty shocking news that Ciara is back together with Future. There is a future for them after all.
Who cheated on her?
That's what she claimed, but for some reason she has taken him back. Why in the world she would? We're going to find out when we come right back.